Taking things way back today, man. This is the high school days. It's gonna be great. This box is just obliterated.
That box looks like Hagrid took it out of his coat.
Yeah, man, it's been through some things. This thing's crazy, but my name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. In case you don't recognize this box right here and those 5 dots right there, that signifies Nike's Alpha Project. Now, Alpha Projects span across multiple categories, okay? So it wasn't just basketball. It could have been running, it could have been all kinds of stuff, training, everything, all that stuff. And the Alpha Project was when Nike was going nuts, okay? Nike, they had a few screws loose. They let their designers kind of do anything that they wanted. At least that's how it felt like from our perspective, my perspective at least. It's so much different nowadays where you got full-on design teams. Everybody's got a little thing that they got to do and they all got to kind of work together. This was just a different era, man. And again, this is when Nike went nuts. But first things first, look at that. I've been wanting this back. Again, this is my high school time frame. I think these released around 2000, 2001. And that is just like the epitome of what I grew up with. Information. We are in a different information type of age where a lot of the information's digital, but in a time when it wasn't, even though it was starting to. This is what they used to do. It was this or magazines or both. And there are some brands, this is Anta, that do care enough to put this back. Somebody's been listening somewhere. And so we're starting to see this stuff again. And it's just absolutely amazing. I like it a lot. But these guys right here are the Nike Zoom or Nike Air. There's both. Maybe it's Nike Air Zoom. Does it say it in there? It does say Air Zoom because it's got both things in there. Hey, Air Zoom, it's what they call it now. It meant something different back then. It meant that they used Air and Zoom. Now they just call Zoom Air Zoom, even though that's not what it's supposed to be called. But this is the GP3s, Gary Payton, the glove. This is the shoe within a shoe, literally a glove. Very reminiscent of the original glove shoe, the Nike Zoom glove, which we have a review of somewhere on the channel. We'll put a little card there, or the card will be over there, but like the thumbnail will be over there. And it doesn't even matter if you're watching on a TV because all you'll see is the thumbnail. But these guys right here were part of Nike's Morph series. And that meant that this had this inside. This is the craziest Nike's ever done. Nike's done some dope stuff, man, like the foam posit, flight posit, the modular midsoles like the LeBron 11, the Kobe 8, 7, the Jordan 2011. They've done some really wacky, especially recently with like some of their stacked visible zoom things, but this to me still takes the cake. Like this is just the weirdest thing. It was literally a shoe in a shoe. So Nike's Morph series was super interesting because there was 3 models in the line. This is one of them, again, the GP3. There was also the Pippin 5, and I don't remember what number the kids were because I don't think that they even had numbers. There was like the Zoom Flight shoe. It wasn't the 95, even though it was the 95, like he wore those. And then there was the other one. I think it was the Zoom Flight Kid. I can't remember. But whatever it is, those were the 3 athletes, the 3 models. It was Jason Kidd's shoe and it was like a blue one. And then there was the Pippin 5 that looked awful. And I remember back in my day, some people loved this and some people were like, and I am right on the middle of both because I love what they were thinking. I just don't know if it was great. Like it was one of those things where it's like, man, they had a lot of money back then to do whatever. Like, believe it or not, this right here is stupid lightweight, okay? Like this is like a modern basketball shoe in today's time frame. As soon as you put it in this thing, they turn into like a 20-pound block of rubber and glue and stuff. It's crazy. So the tech specs include a super lightweight Phylon midsole. The Phylon actually feels really good. For this shoe being well over 10 years, the Phylon won't crumble because Phylon doesn't do that. EVA doesn't do that. Polyurethane will do that, and this is not a polyurethane shoe. So for those of you guys that are like, oh, I'm not sure if this shoe's gonna last or crumble or whatever, you just need to know the difference between the materials that they're made out of. So again, polyurethane crumbles, EVA does not. The glue is gonna fail before anything else does. The glue and probably the airbag you can't even see through. But you have that lightweight Phylon midsole. The heel obviously is a visible air unit, which is funny because you can't see it when it's in there. And then in the forefoot here, we actually have Zoom Air, which is why the shoe's name is the Air Zoom GP3, because back then they actually would label the tech that was in the shoe, which is why the Air Jordan line is called Air Jordan, because they have air in them. They also had Zoom Air. I don't know why they never said the Zoom name. I think it was just cleaner. Branding purposes. He's Air Jordan. It's also his nickname. It works. You
You win. Perfect.
Now, I know most of you guys are probably thinking like, oh, can I just wear this instead of this? No, you cannot. It even says that specifically in the instructions, do not wear this shoe without this thing.
Why?
There's no traction, man. This right here is that stuff that they'll put on some insoles so that you don't slip. So like your socks grip it, which I dislike those things first off, the insoles that have those on the top sock liner. However, the ones that have whatever this is on the bottom of the insole so that it doesn't slip inside your shoe, I like it when they do that. But yeah, so that thing goes inside of this thing, and that's so that it doesn't slip, because essentially you turn this into a double lasted shoe where the midsole is wrapped within the upper, and you get more support with that, but it does become a little bit more cumbersome and less flexible, and you don't want to bust through, you know, pull a Zion. We won't talk about that. Now they have a TPU shank right here. So back then, the popular thing to do was actually carbon fiber, but right around the 2000s, 1999, 2000, that's when they started messing with TPU, like the Flight Posit has it, whereas the Foam Posit was full length carbon. So it reduced weight, but still added the strength there. So you can see even back in the 2000s, this, what we now know as like a modern basketball shoe, was already being worked on. This is how long stuff gets worked on and how long it takes them to really fine tune and perfect what they're trying to go after. So the stuff that we saw back when we were kids like this, we're seeing the best versions of this now, which is fucking cool, man. Like I love seeing this and being like, man, they were thinking about textile based uppers back then. Yes, they were. But what's over all of this textile right here?
It's a monkey paw.
It is. It's a full length monkey paw. So I don't know what kind of monkey has that many fingers, but maybe it's fingers and toes. I don't know. But that was to reinforce that lightweight, thin ass upper, something that we now know as Flywire. This is where it kind of started and stuff. So yeah, this is monkey paw. You'll see this inside of certain shoes in that era. So the Zoom glove, like that's one of them. You pull down the shroud and that's in there. And then the Zoom GP, the one with the ratchet close enclosure that just re-released last year or the year before, I can't remember. But that has monkey paw in it, and these guys as well. So this was, again, the same shoe, the same base. Like you'd get this in all three of these signature lines. You would just get different skins. What a time to be alive, you know what I mean? These didn't even retail for that much. They retail between $135 and $140 or something like that. Like it wasn't even anything crazy. However, they couldn't sell them to save their lives because it was just so much. Like, could you imagine, first off, being enclosed in this, okay? And then the weight, and then there's zero, and I'm talking about zero ventilation in this thing. Like it's none in any of them. But anyways, this is where the rubber's at. So this is the outsole. It's not decoupled, even though it kind of looks like it. This is a full piece of rubber. It actually feels pretty firm and stuff. So pretty nice for both indoors and outdoors. I never played in these, and I won't, because these are toast. It's not supposed to be like this. They added ventilation over the years just by naturally aging. But this guy right here is a vinyl material. This little weird yellow stripe right there is actually clear plastic. Like I was saying with the air unit, the plastic just doesn't age well. It'll yellow and it'll get brittle, which is exactly what happened here. So this point in which it's separated, they've actually stitched this to the plastic, and it just doesn't last forever. So that's why it's split there. This right here is a synthetic stretch nubuck. So this has a little bit of give to it. And then we have the zipper system. I love zippers, man. And you got a strap. This is a cool ass shoe, dude. Like, could you imagine wearing this today? I kind of could. I'm not gonna lie. I would wear these. I just realized that the straps right here got little 3M pieces, and it says "The Love."
Aww.
That's so cool.
I don't know if I want to touch these.
Why? They're brand new. They're just old.
You just kept them in a box?
Yeah, through a flood and everything.
Wow.
I know. That's dedication right there.
Just looking at this, just looking at the entrance for where your foot is supposed to go in, no. It looks so hot.
Yo, but the concept. I know that you don't play basketball. And
I don't.
I know that you have zero interest in putting your foot in that or anything like that. Okay? But the concept, as just somebody that maybe is more like me and less like you, what do you think about this time frame? If this didn't last long, okay? It literally was these three shoes and that was it. They didn't do this again. Or did they? Did they do anything similar to this? Kind of. For the Jordan 2012. That was kind of the reverse situation where there was the shell and then they had the different cushioning systems.
Okay, so yes, that's what I was gonna say.
And there was the mid-cut booty and the high-cut booty with the weird strap on it. Yeah, I told you they're sticky.
It's not sticky, there's like powder residue that's coming off or something. But no, so I just think it's interesting how they started out with like a shoe inside of a shoe concept, which obviously led to the whole drop-in midsoles. And this is like the proud great-grandfather of all that or something.
But that's what I'm saying, like even this part goes towards today's footwear and today's what they would consider innovation. That's what I'm saying is like when you read something about say like the Nike Shox and it's like, oh, they were trying to do this back in like the 80s. They had no way to actually do it, but the idea was there, right? And so it's like they develop things sometimes for a decade or more. And you're just kind of like, man, that's insane that somebody would come up with something as weird as this and somebody would actually approve it, because I don't see this happening today. Like, I just don't.
It's a little excessive.
Well, not only is it excessive, it's just weird. Like, I don't think anybody would ever be like, you know what?
These smell like they survived a flood. They're very musty.
Hey, dude, these are dope, man. Okay, I really like these. I think that it's a really cool thing. I'm not saying that it was a great performer. I'm not even saying it was a great idea. It was just a weird idea. I love that they did it. I don't know if I'd ever want to see this again. Like the drop-ins is as close as they've gotten, and that's probably where I'd like leave it because I don't even love all of those. But I just think the concept is so outlandish and crazy, and I wanted to know what you guys thought, not only of this and the concept, but do you feel like footwear, as far as innovation is concerned today, is stale? Like, is it stagnant? Is somebody not doing something as crazy as this today?
That's a good question.
I just need to know. So I would like to know your guys' thoughts. If you played in these, please give a mini breakdown of what it was like.
Yeah.
I need to know any of them. It doesn't matter if it was the Pippins or the kids and all that stuff. And like I was saying, I like barely alluded to earlier, but like they couldn't give these away. They had a thing on eBay. I even screenshot it. I'll put it up here. But it says like if you buy one shoe that came with the skin, they'll give you a second skin for half off.
So you don't get the innards.
Yeah, they did have team options for these.
Well, that's cool.
So you would have the shoe. It wasn't for all of them. It wasn't for the Pippin and the kid. It was just the Peyton. But you would buy the Peyton shoe. It would come with this or a black one. And then there were secondary team option skins like blue and red and all that stuff that you can buy for your high school team.
That's cool.
They were like, please take these things. You're gonna have a bunch of hollow booty with zippers and shit, man, like lying around the East Bay warehouse and shit. They might be still there, I don't know. But let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and hope that you guys enjoyed. Man, I would not be mad if they retroed these. I would buy them. I might be the only person, but like I'd buy them.
Maybe they'll send you all the extra skins.
I don't know if I want extra skin. Oh, that's old right there. That's hella old. Have a good one, guys.